Shalom. All praise, honor, glory is due unto Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Machakodosh. Double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone who rule well. Peace and salutations to the elect of the nation of Israel. The true Hebrew, true Israelites, so-called Negroes, Hispanics, Native Americans, as well as Israelite foreigners. I'm just going to break down some verses in Revelation, the 9th chapter, just from the top all the way to the bottom. I'm not going to hit every verse, but Revelation chapter 9, verse 1. And the fifth angel sounded, and I saw a star fall from heaven unto the earth, and to him was given a key of the bottomless pit. The bottomless pit is Europe. You can read about that in Revelation, the 20th chapter. Revelation chapter 20 and verse 1. And I saw an angel come down from heaven, having the key of the bottomless pit, and a great chain in his hand. Before I hit the next scripture, see if I get the verse right. No, it wasn't even close. But I noticed in 2 Ezra chapter 5. Try to remember it for next time. Second Ezra chapter 5 and verse 24. And of all the lands of the whole world, there was chosen thee one pit. So the bottomless pit is a land. It's not talking about hell, it's talking about a land. And of all the flowers there of one lily. So a pit is a land, the bottomless pit is Europe. Which we see in Revelation 20 and Revelation 9. And I'll read verse 2 in Revelation chapter 20, verse 2. And he laid hold on the dragon, that old serpent, which is the devil and Satan. Talking about the Edomites. And bound him 1,000 years. So Esau was in Europe during the medieval times in a very low state. I'll just put it that way. He fell to power from the Roman Empire. Back to Revelation chapter 9 and verse 1. And the fifth angel sounded, and I saw a star fall from heaven to the earth, and to him was given the key of the bottomless pit. So now you understand that. Verse 2, when he opened the bottomless pit, and there arose smoke out of the pit, as the smoke of a great furnace, and the sun and the air were darkened by reason of the smoke of the pit. And there came out of the smoke locusts upon the earth. So it's not talking about literal locusts. It's talking about of fighter planes. These are the locusts. Now, if you don't know what a locust is, you can look it up, like a literal locust. But this is what it's talking about in Revelation 9th chapter. So Revelation chapter 9 verse 3, and there came out of the smoke locusts upon the earth, and unto them was given power, as the scorpions of the earth have power. And it was commanded them that they should not hurt the grass of the earth, neither any green thing, neither any tree, but only those men which have not the seal of the Most High on their foreheads. So Most High would protect the men who would give birth to the elect. Let's read that again so you can. And it was commanded that they should not hurt the grass of the earth, neither any green thing, neither any tree, but only those men which have not the seal of the Most High on their foreheads. And to them it was given that they should not kill them, but that they should be tormented 5 months. Which is talking about the span of World War I to 5 months. And their torment was as the torment of a scorpion when he striketh a man. And in those days shall men seek death and shall not find it, like in those times. In war, like you have the you see like the war movies, and they have the like the medical place where you got all the soldiers laying on the bed, on the beds. Well, it was so bad that like painful. And how they would have to deal with it, that they would just rather die. What it says, and shall desire to die, and death shall flee from them. And the shapes of the locusts were like unto horses prepared unto battle, and on their heads were as it were crowns like gold, which is talking about the helmets. You get the idea, the gold, the helmet. Revelation chapter 9, verse 7, and the shapes of the locusts were like unto horses prepared unto battle, and on their heads were as it were crowns like gold, and their faces were as the faces of men, and they had hair as the hair of women, and their teeth were as the teeth of lions. So the teeth represents the bullets, and the hair as the hair of woman. Or I didn't even mean to have it right here, but you see the hair that's not from his head, that's from the helmet. I don't know if that's the exact perfect image, but this is what it's talking about. Something like this. So we read in Revelation chapter 9, verse 8, and they had hair as the hair of woman. So that's what this is talking about. So the prophets were pretty much privy to the things that would happen in the future. Verse 8, verse 9, and they had breastplates as it were breastplates of iron, and the sound of their wings as the sound of chariots of many horses running to battle. And they had tails like unto scorpions, and there were stings in their tails, and the power was to hurt men 5 months. And they had a king over them, which I believe it's Kaiser Wilhelm II. It might be the first, but I believe it's the second. Kaiser comes from, I believe it comes from the word Caesar, like Julius Caesar. And I think Kaiser is a German word. Which is the angel of the bottomless pit, whose name in the Hebrew tongue is Abaddon, but in the Greek tongue hath his name Apollyon. Verse 12, one woe was past, World War I. And behold, there come two more woes hereafter, so there will be two more world wars, and we're in the time right before World War III, which is the Battle of Armageddon. All those troops are going to gather in the Middle East, and they're going to get busy. Verse 13, and the sixth angel sounded, and I heard a voice from the four horns of the golden altar which was before Yahweh Bashmi Oshai. Verse 14, saying to the sixth angel which had the trumpet, loose the four angels which are bound in the great river Euphrates. And the four angels were loosed, which were prepared for an hour and a day, and a month and a year, for to slay the third part of men. In the number of the army of the horsemen were 200,000. Now, before it was talking about fighter planes, but now it's talking about nuclear missiles. The horsemen. And here it's saying 200 million warheads, 200,000 are going to hit America, Babylon the Great, and completely destroy it. So now this is where we can get intimate, if you will. Isaiah chapter 34. In verse 4, and all the host of heaven shall be dissolved, and the heavens shall be rolled together as a scroll. What does it mean when it says the heavens shall be rolled together as a scroll? It's talking about a mushroom cloud, which is a fire when the bomb hits. And all their hosts shall fall down, as the leaf falleth off from the vine, and as a falling fig from the fig tree. Now I have to bring out a picture. This always happens. This is the heavens shall depart as a scroll. Because the 200 million horsemen, when they hit, this is what's going to happen. And it's this fire that will burn all the people up. So the same thing in Revelation, the 6th chapter. And the people that take the chip, the mark of the beast, RFID chip, are going to be in that fire. Revelation chapter 6. In verse 13, and the stars of heaven fell into the earth, even as a fig tree casteth her untimely figs, when she is shaken of a mighty wind. Now the Apostle John saw missiles and said it looks like a fig when it blowing off the wind. He saw lights falling up, look like lights falling down onto the earth, which is both talking about the missiles. When she is shaken of a mighty wind, Jeremiah 51:1, I will raise up against Babylon a destroying wind, that nuclear destruction. Which goes to Revelation, the 7th chapter, verse 14. And the heaven departed as a scroll when it is rolled together. So the same thing as Isaiah 34, which we just pulled up a picture. The heavens departed as a scroll when it is being rolled together. Notice of fire. Revelation chapter 6, I'll read it again. In verse 13, or verse 14, in the heaven departed a scroll when it was rolled together, and every mountain and island were moved out of their places. Verse 15, and the kings of the earth, and the great men, and the rich men, and the chief captains, and the mighty men, and every bondman, and every freeman, hid themselves in the dens and in the rocks of the mountains, which represents nuclear bunkers. So people are going to be hiding in those nuclear bunkers, and they're not going to be in that destruction of America, Babylon the Great. If they're in Babylon and they have bunkers, then that's going to be their grave. But if there are bunkers outside of America, there will be bunkers outside. I should say there will be bunkers outside of America that was. Well, you get the point. And said to the mountains and rocks, fall on us and hide us from the face of him that sitteth on the throne and from the wrath of the Lamb. The Lamb is Yahushua. For the great day of his wrath is come, and who shall be able to stand? Joel chapter 2. In verse 1, blow ye the trumpet in Zion, and sound an alarm in my holy mountain. Let all the inhabitants of the land tremble, for the day of Yahweh shall cometh, for it is nigh at hand. A day of darkness and of gloominess, a day of clouds and of thick darkness, as the morning spread upon the mountains, a great people and a strong, which as the missiles. There hath not been ever the like, neither shall there be any more after it, even to the years of many generations. Verse 3, a fire devoureth before them. That's when the missiles hit. We read the heavens shall depart as a scroll. That's the fire. In behind them, so it's from the missiles, and behind them a flame burneth, and that's the like the rocket ship looking, because there's a fire behind the missile. The land is as a garden of Eden before them, meaning there's life and vegetation, and behind them a desolate wilderness. Yeah, nothing shall escape them, and this place is going to become a desert. Joel chapter 3, verse 19. Verse 4, the appearance of them is as the appearance of horses, and as horsemen so shall they run. So this is talking about the missiles. Just like in Revelation, the 9th chapter. Verse 5, like the noise of... I've probably read enough on Joel 2. Let's go back to Revelation chapter 9 and verse 17. And thus I saw the horses in the vision, and them that sat on them having breastplates of fire and of jacinth and brimstone. In the heads of the horses were as the heads of lions, and out of their mouths issued fire and smoke and brimstone. Zechariah chapter 14, verse 12. And this shall be the plague wherewith Yahweh Bashmel will smite all the people that have fought against Jerusalem. Their flesh shall consume away while they stand upon their feet, and their eyes shall consume away in their holes, and their tongue shall consume away in their mouth. So what do you think this is talking about? It's not talking about hell. For it's the nuclear destruction. So you can be, and I didn't finish Isaiah 34, Isaiah chapter 34, in verse 4, and all the hosts of heaven shall be dissolved, and the heavens shall be rolled together as a scroll, and all their hosts shall fall down, as a leaf falleth off from the vine, and as a falling fig from the fig tree. For my sword shall be bathed in heaven, the sword is the missiles. Behold, it shall come down upon Idumea, which are the Edomites, the so-called white people, and upon the people of my cursed judgment. So this place, the Edomites are going to be completely destroyed by fire very soon. Back to Revelation chapter 9 and verse 18. By these three was a third part of men killed. There are three classifications of men: the sons of the wicked, the Edomites, the sons of men, the other nations, and the sons of the Most High, which are the Israelites. By the fire and by the smoke and by the brimstone which issued out of their mouths, for their powers in their mouth and in their tails. For their tails were like unto serpents, and had heads, and with them they do hurt. So you don't want to miss this part. It said, for their tails were like unto serpents, because the missile looks like a flying serpent, and had heads, because the missiles have warheads, and with them they do hurt. So now we need to look at the anatomy of a nuclear missile. So you see, it said tails like the tails of a serpent. Then it has the head, the warheads, and them they do with them they do hurt. Then the sword shall be bathed in heaven; it shall come down upon Idumea, the people of my curse to judgment. The Most High, talking about the Most High. Just to make it clear, the fire behind them. Fire. This is the fire that burned behind them. Then will be a fire that developed before them when the warhead hits. There's some Joel 2, quoting what we read in Joel 2. Paying attention. Revelation chapter 9. And I'll read verse 19 again. For their power is in their mouth and in their tails, for their tails were like unto serpents, and had heads, and with them they do hurt. Second Ezra 16. And verse 13, for strong is his right hand that bendeth the bow. His arrows, the bow is the silos which the missiles are held in. His arrows that he shooteth are sharp, the arrows are the missiles, and shall not miss when they begin to be shot into the ends of the world, because they're called intercontinental ballistic missiles.